Okay, afternoon, folks. It's been roughly a week since I've appeared on camera. I haven't streamed in a little bit over a week, and I've been taking a break. And I wanted to give you some Gears of War 5 gameplay coming up in just a second, and a chat about a few things that I've been wanting to speak about. The topics I'm going to be talking about, my break, why I'm doing it, time limits and accounts, socials, checking it and why, Gears of War general feelings, Gears of War updates and content, a couple of ideas for the channel, and then I'll probably just speak about the gameplay you're going to watch. So I just want to let everybody be clear that right now I still don't feel comfortable being on camera. I still don't feel great. Just recently really not feeling it, immensely burnt out, immensely, I wouldn't say self-conscious, but immensely self-aware of myself and how I'm portrayed and how I am appearing online, and just a long period of time online, I guess, on the camera, under the microscope, responding to comments about myself, etc. So what I did was I updated you with a post, and I've always tried to be as honest as possible. And in that post, I effectively said that if you don't follow the community tab, I basically said I streamed for 330 hours this month, and I made 49 videos in just over a month. And there are 730 hours in a month, meaning that I probably spent 600 hours on content in a month, 500 if we've been a guess, and I averaged 9 views on Twitch, and I said, and that's fantastic. That's the best views I've ever gotten on Twitch, and people will be like, "Lol, that is awful. What are you talking about?" But for me, that was my best month ever on Twitch, and I am very, very pleased with that. I don't have the same goals as a big streamer. I don't have the same goals as a big content creator. I'm at the very infancy of this. Even though I've been doing it a long time, I've not really taken it seriously. So my goals are a little bit different to other people, and that's okay. Everybody achieves their goals at different rates. And effectively, yeah, that's kind of sort of what's been going on. There has been a building of the amount of time that I've spent on content, and it's just been incredibly unhealthy. So my sleep schedule was just non-existent. It was basically wake up. The second I woke up, I would turn on the PC and sit down. I would literally wake up, grab a glass of water, breakfast, and sit at the PC. And then I would not come off the PC until I had effectively made a video. And my videos are like quite long, and I like to think about them. They might not have the highest production value, but I do like to think about my videos. And then I would stream for like 6, 7, 8 hours minimum. I'd then take a break, I'd eat food, I'd then come back for a second stream, and I'd then second stream it until basically all of the viewers kind of got bored, tired, disappeared, and then once the stream had died down, I turn off the stream. I maybe watch an hour or two of YouTube, maybe I watch an episode, crash, go to bed, do the same thing. Did that for like 600 hours, and I know people will say this isn't work, this isn't stressful, but there's a different stress. There's a different stress and a different requirement of being on camera and being just, you're not truly yourself, are you? When I'm on a video and I'm on a stream, I'm not truly myself. You can't really be. It's a painted picture, it's quite accurate. I'm very, very honest, but obviously it's not entirely accurate. Nobody is. But yeah, it's quite a lot to handle for not just a month, but to be doing this. I'm sorry, I got sore back. For 9 months, I've been doing that sort of schedule, and previously, I've been doing this for years and years and years with no viewership. I still have done the exact same process, even though no one's been watching it. You want to look at my old videos, they're all kind of the same. So, probably people are bored already. But that's kind of the schedule and how it went. So I needed a break. I tried to put it off for as long as I possibly could. During quarantine, everybody's been off. and I really wanted to get everybody together to experience the trilogy with games and play the trilogy, and I managed to do that. We played Gears 1, 2 and 3, the trilogy, and I was really, really happy that we got to spend some time, relive the trilogy and enjoy that. And then I was going for Judgment. Because the 3 streams had been so well received, the video's not so much well received, but, you know, they're a VOD. Not many people really watch VODs. I get that. I did want to do Judgment, and I just couldn't do it. I was just so burnt out. I was so stressed that just one night I just basically completely borderline snapped and was just like, I just want nothing to do with the internet. Like I need a break. And I took a break, and I never normally take a break, because if you take a break, everybody disappears. Like, I've already lost half my YouTube viewership, you know. Even like regular videos that don't get as many views, probably half have gone. I've lost half the subscribers I had on Twitch. It's pretty detrimental to even take a day off. It sounds crazy, but that's kind of the way it is. But I needed that break, and I'm still on that break. I'm just feeling a little bit better today, so I'm coming out and doing a video. So what am I doing about it, you know? Because obviously that's just not sustainable. I'd love to be able to work 600 hours a month, but it's just not possible, really. The sleep deprivation, being awake in the middle of the night permanently, waking up in the dark, going to bed in the dark, it's not great. So what I've done is, before we head into the Gears of War video, I separated my social accounts. You can tell I'm getting a sore back because I haven't been sat in this streaming chair for a while. I've separated my my social accounts, because I think that's really important. Some people can deal with social media better than others. I can deal with it pretty damn well. I've been doing this for like 10 years. It doesn't really bother me. But occasionally, yeah, it builds up, you know. Even the thickest skin, or the thing that doesn't grate on you eventually does grate on you. I always think of Total Biscuit and him just disappearing off YouTube comments. He disabled comments. He had moderators that would look in specific areas and give him feedback, and I've adopted that approach. That's not to say I'm not going to be listening to your feedback, but it's really, really important for me to separate my social accounts. So I'll kind of explain what I'm doing, and I'll bring up a different screen. Also, I've kind of redesigned my overlay. I don't know if this is better than the last one, but I've kind of redesigned it, spent some time on it, yeah. So if we head into this kind of scenario, I've basically got my Twitch account, right? My Twitch account is here. New background kind of explains a few things. And in here, I've got some information. I built new panels, wrote about myself, explained some stuff. These all link to certain things that you want to find out. And it kind of explains some stuff. It's also got my Spotify, so if you come into the stream and there's music on, you can find out what I'm playing. And I'm trying to make it a bit more professional, and as a result, I wanted a separation from me, the person, and my, I guess, I hate the word, it makes me vomit, brand. So I've made this Twitter account, and this Twitter account is just purely for my updates. You know, it just basically posts, here's a video, check it out, and maybe I'll do the odd tweet, but that's what I've been doing, just automated posts and just generic posts. So if you ever want to find out what I'm up to and not be baffled by a load of random side tweets, conversations and all this, this is just for purely me putting out and interacting with specific things. I only follow on this account people that I have either worked with, know personally, or want to follow for a specific reason, and that's it. And then I have my own private account, and that for me is great, because when I sign in and I want to post that I've made a new video, or I want to post that I've made a new whatever, or I've got a new idea, I don't have to see 100,000 tweets that I just don't want to be bombarded with, because sometimes I'm just really not in the mood to see it. Constantly seeing things from other people is very like grating, so I did that. So we now don't have the problem of irritating tweets all day. We can now separate that. To expand on that, I'm limiting myself time-wise how much time I spend responding to you. it's fantastic that some people can be the most responding person in the world. I tried that for 9 months. I'm sure if anybody has ever commented, you probably get a reply from me. I spend a tremendous amount of time replying to as many people as I can. But again, it's really not healthy to spend millions of hours checking, have I got a comment? Do I need to reply to it? What did this person say? And I don't just kind of glance at the comment and then make a generic reply. I really like to read the comment properly, think about what that person is saying. I'll often, if you don't know, I'll often click their YouTube channel. Often they've got like their Twitter account. I'll click your Twitter account, your YouTube channel. I'll find out a little bit about the person that's commenting so I can get into your mindset. Is this person calling the Lancer overpowered because he's a Call of Duty player? What type of person is he? And I like to, that might sound a little bit OCD, but I like to kind of get a gist of who I'm replying to before I do the reply, and that's time consuming. And then you just get lost in black hole wormholes of YouTube of checking stuff all the time. So that's what I do. And it's not really healthy to be responding permanently to every bit of feedback that you do. So what I've done is I've kind of separated that out. I'm now just at most going to spend an hour a day checking comments. So here's what I do. I'm going to sign in and think, okay, it's like 10 a.m. It's whatever. Until 11 a.m. I'll check some feedback. And the feedback I care most about at the moment are channel commenters, so members, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subscribers. And obviously there are people that have donated to the support goal, those types of people, and my subscribers. Those are like the most important people because those keep me going. All of the other comments, I like listening to the feedback, but I'll just kind of glance at them and won't spend hundreds of hours replying to them, but I do take your feedback on board. So this is kind of the benefit of, I guess, subscribing, is you get an opportunity to be in that hour. So effectively, if you subscribe and you join my Discord, which there'll be a link in the description, I sign in on my hour and I can see everybody that's joined the Discord, and then I go to the subscriber general. And I go to the subscriber general and people will post feedback on the videos. And that's my initial thing, is the feedback in here, and then probably the channel ideas in the Discord. These are people that are active, they've joined the community, they want to help improve the stream, the videos, the community, and I'll check their feedback first. Maybe they have an opinion on an overlay, on the music I listen to, on the type of content they want to see. That's what I will look at, and I'll just respond to that. So that's the reason to subscribe to the Discord. Link your Discord to your Twitch. You can get involved and have your feedback heard a lot more often. I then also have my Twitch, and when I stream on Twitch, I'll be able to sort of gain subscriber feedback through what they're saying. So we've got the Discord and we've got the subscribers' opinions. Then I'll go to the YouTube channel and I can check on my channel. I can just simply go to my comments, click this button, and I can see channel members. These are people that have subscribed to the channel and have become a member. You can see them in the comment section. They'll have a badge because they are, I guess, monetarily supporting me. So their opinions mean a lot because they're helping me out they've gone that step further, right? I'm not saying your opinion isn't counted if you're not a subscriber or something like that, or a member, I should say. I'm just saying that for my specific hour online, I'm going to get to these people first, and I want to respond to all of the comments that come in. Then, if I've got some spare time, I can simply X out of this, and then I can go to subscribers. And these are people that have subscribed that I can reply to. Because if you didn't know, I think only 3% of my viewers are subscribed. So I can go here and check the subscribers that are publicly subscribed to me. And then if I've still got time, I can then check anybody else that has subscribed. Or sorry, is just kind of a person that has commented. So that's it. So that's kind of like the benefit, right? You get a few extra perks. Also, if you become a member, you get specific member-only things like this one, where I'll speak to just my members in private, and I have membership-only polls, because that's important for me to have that separation, and I hope you understand why I'm doing that. It's not just pay me to listen. That's not what I'm doing. It's a separation that's important for me. If you're a Twitch subscriber, obviously you get access to my VODs as well. That's just a bonus. That way, if you want to watch an older stream or maybe you haven't been able to tune in, you can watch the stream. Right, so that's kind of the separation, is separating how much time I spend online and interacting with specific groups. And that's it. I don't really interact with any of the Discords anymore. I don't really interact with the Reddit section, any of that stuff. I just kind of post my videos, whatever, do my stream, and if I've got some time left, I'll check the channels I want to check. Whereas before, I was very, very conscious that I had to respond to every single person, and that just wasn't healthy. So that's kind of how that's going, right? Next on my list of things I wanted to get through was we spoke about the time limit, separating the accounts and why I've done that. And now I wanted to talk about Gears of War in general. And kind of my general feeling of the game. Now, this game in the background is a game from, I think, last week. It's a streamed game, so hence the kind of scuffed overlay because I'm watching a stream, but I have positioned my camera over my original camera. Hopefully that's okay. You'll have to put up with it. We're not in the ideal situation right now. We're not back in full flow. This game was a 4v5 match. It was a game that I thought I played very, very well in. It's probably the best I've played in a while. I thought I just generally played pretty clean. Mechanics were pretty good. Thought process was pretty good. Everything about the game I thought was a pretty decent game. And it was a game that made me wanting to stop playing, right? And that is kind of the downside to Gears of War right now. And I've spoken to a lot of people in my time, and every time I ask them about this, they always say the same thing. And there is no game audio because I'm listening to music, by the way, so unfortunately I can't play the audio, or nasty YouTube will shut me down. But herein lies the problem with Gears of War in the moment. Everybody I speak to, I feel, is a little bit tired of the game, is a little bit bored of the monotony, you know, like a back A just got 18%, and I don't think I missed the back A. And forget all of the small little mechanics, forget all of the balance changes. Generally, the feeling I get when I speak to people in the community is a little bit like, right, I've played this for like 7 months now, it's not getting much better, I don't really know why I'm playing this, and when I do play it, I don't have a whole lot of fun. And that's honestly the feeling I get from the people I speak to that play Gears of War a lot. Kind of situations like this where a guy just, you're trying to push them, you just get hit fire lanced down like you're a really, really bad player. You know, I've played the game for like, God, I don't even know, what is it, like 14 years? Something like that. And I can just be blind fire, hip fired down by somebody that's incredibly mediocre at the game as if I'm a brand new player. To note, the people I'm playing in the game knew me. They were, at least 3 of them knew me because when I started the game, we just kind of missed the start of the game. But when we started the game, they kind of greeted me. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but I'm just letting you know my experience. Like, these are people that I, quote, they sort of know of me in the match. It's a 4v5, and I'm still being relentlessly cross-lanced. There's nothing wrong with that. They're doing the right thing. They're making the right moves to cross-lancer me, shut my angles off, and pincer me. But I'm just saying that as a general feeling, it does... I would be lying if I said it wasn't incredibly frustrating, because... I'm not saying that there should be a bro code in Gears, but when you're in a 4v5 and you sort of know the other person, just to relentlessly sweat on them is just kind of annoying. I can't blame them for him because it is technically ranked play, but we do also know that the ranking system doesn't work, and that there in itself is kind of a problem, because you end up sweating for what is a broken ranking system. And again, if anyone from the dev team's watching this, I don't think they will. I don't think they watch. I know Node used to occasionally watch my stuff, but I don't think anyone else watches. But if anyone is watching, like, please just understand that I do try to give my opinions in a fair way, and I don't think I'm just raging, and I'm not trying to just crap on the game to crap on the game. I actually obviously really like the franchise, and I'd love to help it get better. But the problem is that it's very, very difficult to have fun on the game because you feel so limited. The maps are another issue. You know, the maps themselves, I can't create maps, but what I can do is play a map enough and get a general gist of like what is wrong with the map for Gears of War. I wouldn't be able to do it with any other type of game. I don't have enough experience in Call of Duty. You know, when Call of Duty designers talk about the 3 lanes and all of this stuff, I don't really know too much about that. I just know that when I play a certain map, it's not great. Now, District is actually one of the better maps, but District is kind of one of those odd maps where it kind of feels, if I was to describe what District feels like, it feels like War Machine without the sniper. That's kind of what it feels like, and that's not a bad thing. War Machine's one of the best maps Gears has ever had, but it was great because there was a snipe and talk battle, and everybody loved to fight over that block for talk bow and snipe. This kind of feels like the same kind of wishy-washy side areas that War Machine had. Like, the side areas weren't that strong. The top area was kind of used occasionally in certain specific scenarios, but it was all about those 2 power weapons and how people used them. But on this game, the power weapons just don't feel exciting for me to use or fight over. I'll fight over what I call the DVD player that shoots out those discs. I'll fight over that not because I want to use it, but to stop the enemy team using it. I'll fight over the M-bar not because I want to use it, but I want to stop them using it. And those kind of situations like there where you try to back A and it just doesn't work. You know, I did that video, what would have been a month ago now. I even had Dana say that the developers watched it. I had 2 developers then follow me on Twitter. I had 2 lead developers follow me on Twitter after I made that video, I noticed. And we've never had any feedback on the netcode, on the general lack of clarity in the game, and just how certain scenarios feel incredibly frustrating. And for me, as somebody that plays the game a lot, thinks about the game a lot, it is a little bit disheartening to just have put so much time into a clear issue that the community also feel is a clear issue, only to have it ignored, or not ignored, but not acknowledged. I'm not sitting here saying that I need to be acknowledged and I need to have, you know, I don't need trumpets blowing in the street for me, but it would be nice if they said, yeah, we've seen the issue. Here are our quick thoughts, you know, here are some quick thoughts on the issue, and then we're going to deal with it properly. A company that I think has a great response and a great feedback system is Grinding Gear Games. They are a New Zealand-based Path of Exile company, the Diablo sort of, I guess you would call them, rival. They're an ARPG company, and their community managers do a really good job of initially responding to large topics, whether they're on the forums or Reddit, and then after the community manager or somebody specific to that area of expertise, let's say it's a netcode issue, a netcode person would reply, or a graphics person would, or a balance team would, or the general community manager, she's called Bex, would reply. And if they can't get a good enough answer, or their answer isn't strong enough, they then go on to give what they call a manifesto. So let's say there's a problem with a lightning spell in the game. Bex would give, or a certain member would give a few thoughts on that. She might email the team, they might give a few thoughts. If the community are still like, listen, this makes no sense, we we don't get it. She will then say, right, we're going to write a manifesto, which is a longer, much longer, more detailed post with stats, image examples, all of this stuff. And then that gets posted maybe in a week or two, and then that's okay because people know what they're waiting for. They've had the initial contact, the initial response, and then they know what they're waiting for. And because GGG are always on time, it's roughly about a week to 2 weeks before that manifesto comes out. With TC, the communication is often very hidden and very quiet. An example is kind of like this. There's a random tweet from Dana that says there's going to be no what's up today, but the store and game will be updated. There's nowhere that is said on the official Gears of War page. I looked, and it's not on the Coalition page either. So the only way you'd find that is if you dug through a few responses, and to me that's really not good enough. There is a lot of issues for me at TC where the communication just isn't clear enough. And yes, you could make the argument that the community manager, Liam, has just left. Absolutely. But you've got to understand that I've spoke to some of these developers personally. They kind of know me on a first-name basis, a few of them. So I'm always sticking my neck out for you, the viewer, because I think that's important. I'm not here to sugarcoat stuff to potentially get a sponsorship or potentially get a free gift or something. I would hope that those things, if they were to arrive, would arrive through hard work and, merit, rather than me just trying to maintain a relationship. I feel like TC don't do a good enough job at communication. I know they're improving on it. I know their community managers disappeared. But for me, there are just blatant holes in their, I guess you would call it, communication strategy, where the information is just hidden, depleted, not enough information, the wrong reply. And this isn't just because Liam has left. This has been going on from the start. And these are not just my words. These are me voicing what I believe the community says. When I read Reddit, when I read Twitter, the forums, everyone says the same thing. They all say, why isn't there a universal hub that I can just go to and I can just get information about a specific topic that has been vocally raised and find the reply? There is kind of just nothing. It's kind of hit and hope if you get some information. It's like why we have Twitter accounts, specifically sort of, if you've ever seen them, they're kind of like Twitter accounts for Gears of War that specifically retweet kind of hidden information, which really shouldn't be the case. Yeah, occasionally every massive company does a small reply and then it gets funneled down. But it would be nice to have some clarification on a few bigger issues. I know I'm sorry, I forgot your name. It's like Livo. He also did a really big post and got a big forum reply. That would have been nice to be posted to Reddit or on the main page. Could have been like, hey folks, here are some greater details about the game. If you're interested in how this specific thing works, click here. It's all hidden. It's all very hit and miss. And yeah, I don't think the communication is clear. Now, we've also currently got the issue, which is very, very dangerous to talk about on YouTube, and I will just briefly touch on it, that there is currently no blog post because of George... because of basically Black Lives Matter and the protest. And that's why there's no protest, because they don't want to distract from the murder of George Floyd, effectively. I don't want to get into that. People will say, oh, you're dodging the issue. Listen, I'm not really qualified to speak on that in a great manner. All I'm going to say is, standing on some guy's neck and killing him, obviously incredibly wrong. I don't even think this is up for debate. The police are shitty. They treat people like shit. You see them killing black folks. You see them pushing old white guys to the floor and cracking their head open. You see this all the time. Police that just love the fact that they've got power, they want to flex it, and unfortunately, they definitely, how do I even word it without being kind of offensive? Let's just say this. If you are a black person, you definitely feel more uncomfortable around the police than a white person would do. That's all I'm going to say. You can talk about that, and you can discuss all that, but it's a clear issue. It's a police brutality issue. Rioting and looting, I disagree with. Peaceful protests, I agree with. I don't want to get into really all of that on this video, but the point is, I've got to be honest, I think it's daft that games companies have stopped updating their games because of this. I understand if a company like Sony says we want to delay our PlayStation 5 launch to not throw or take away, should I say, light off a key issue. I understand that. But Gears of War posting a dev blog post explaining what is going in the shop when the shop has just been told by Dana that it's going to be updated, that's not distracting from anything. Posting a dev blog and saying, hey guys, this is the update for the game and this is what's going into the shop and these were the bug fixes we did, does not distract from the key issue at hand. And it is, I'm sorry to say it, and again, this is why TC would never really employ me, it's virtue signalling. I'm sorry, but it is. Look at GGG. They have just released their brand new league. Basically a brand new expansion for a video game in this time. Why? Because playing a video game and updating a video game does not distract from the murder of George Floyd. It doesn't. There is no reason to do it other than effectively scoring internet points. And it's partly some of the reason why I've come away from Twitter and separated all of my accounts, because I am sick of virtue signaling and I'm sick of people saying certain stuff and doing certain stuff for internet likes. It makes me sound bad because it makes me sound like I don't care about the issue. I do. I think the issue's terrible and it needs sorting. But updating your video game does not distract from that issue. And to say that it does, I think, is almost big-headed in its own way. Can I say that without being crazy? To think that a Gears of War dev blog post would distract from an entire movement, an entire worldwide movement, is crazy. We can't even get a lobby of people after 10 p.m. Somehow, I don't think a dev blog saying that a new gun skin has gone into the shop is going to remove from the feature. I just think, again, it's another simple reason to just not do anything. I'm sorry to say it, and it makes me sound bad, but until I get otherwise information, that's how it feels to me. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I'm willing to hold my hands up and say, damn, I got that wrong. I didn't know the information. I shouldn't have spoken about it before I got the information. But all I can honestly say is how it appears is there is a massive problem about police brutality and the way people in the world are treated in general. I wish the world was a nicer place. And to not update your video game or not tell people, it just feels like a cop-out. Honestly, it does. And I've seen not just me say it, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of comments say it. There was a quote from, I'm getting off topic here, but there was a quote from Eric, the hip-hop preacher, a great video that I shared on Twitter about this issue. And he effectively said, you know, this line, watch it, it's a brilliant video, that the commitment to the solution is the answer to the problem. The commitment to the solution is the answer to the problem. Meaning it doesn't really matter what your sort of solution is or how you do it. It's just that commitment. Day in, day out. It's not just to turn up and do a single tweet and then never mention it again. It's not pass over £1 million to a charity and then never mention it again. It is a consistent commitment that is going to provide the solution to a problem, right? The solution and the commitment of that solution is the answer to your problem, you know? And that goes for a lot of stuff, not just this issue. That goes for a lot of stuff. It is just commitment. It is about being there day in, day out on the solution. And I wish TC would take some note of that, and not just TC, other people. You know, it feels like these days it's just kind of someone comes up with a problem, and this is not talking about Black Lives Matter at this point. Let's get back to video games. It feels like sometimes people have a load of problems with the game. You give them a load of problems, and then they kind of just go, yeah, there's the problem. But we'll take it on board. We'll pass it to the team. And nothing really gets done, does it? And it's just getting a little bit frustrating, to be completely honest, that the way the game is, you know, I almost said 5. It's almost 9 months into the launch of the game. We're in Operation 4. Are we more than 9 months? We could be more than 9 months. If an operation is every 3 months, we're heading into Operation 4. Could be more than 9 months. And we still don't have a ranking system. Yes, the ranking system, time and time again, has been told that it's coming. But to play a game like this, where you're sweating your heart out, you're getting 99 kills, I think, in a 4v5. You lose your points, you lose your elo. That's not fun. That, you know, it's not rocket science, it's not fun. And we should, at this stage of the game, be seeing some screenshots, be seeing some manifestos, be seeing some detailed post about what the hell they're doing to fix the problem. But we're not. What we're going to get is nothing is going to get posted, and then one day when the ranking system is finished, it'll come out. It'll either fix the problem and we'll all rejoice and go, why did that take so long? Or there'll be a lot of problems with the system and the solution, and then we'll go, why didn't you tell us about this before you launched it? We could have fixed all of these issues. And I'm just getting a little bit tired, to be honest, with the whole process of Gears of War. You know, I'm not saying I'm stepping away from the game just yet, but I'm just being completely frank with you that it is disheartening to constantly play a game and see no progress. And then they take every opportunity, what feels like, now maybe I'm wrong. I'm always open to being wrong, but because we don't have any information, I just have to guess. So what it feels like is every opportunity they have to take a break, to not post an update, to not do something, they take. That is what the feedback I've got from the community is. Not my words, their words. Every time I read Reddit forums, they're just like, oh, it's TC taking another break. And maybe they're not. Maybe they are really busy. We have no idea. We don't see any behind the scenes stuff. It's not like Star Citizen where they post Into the Verse, which is a show where effectively they show all about the makings of the game. We don't get any of that, so we're just left to guess. And it can just be a bit disheartening to be like, what's going on? I just have to guess. So that's kind of it, isn't it? You know, the game feels kind of stale. There's the community is not really enjoying the game all that much. At least not the community that I listen to. I'm sure there are people having plenty of fun. I thought this clip here, right, by the way, was incredibly good. To take a 1v1 and then instantly flick to pistol and then headshot that guy and then back A that guy. I was playing really, really well in this game. I don't know if anyone's been noticing the gameplay. I was actually playing pretty fire this game. So yeah, that's kind of Gears of War. And because Gears of War is kind of not really been updating the game, nothing's really been happening with the game, and me burning out, I thought it was a nice opportunity for me to just take some time for myself. Now, coming up, a couple ideas for the channel. Because Gears of War is kind of on the wane, I'm not saying I'm leaving it or anything like that, but I spend a lot of time on the internet, and I do read a lot of stuff, and I watch a lot of other stuff that, maybe other people don't really watch. And I was thinking of maybe just once a week or every so often doing a video of 10 things I saw. 10 things I saw meaning 10 things I watched or read about this week that maybe will interest you. Kind of like been like a content aggregator, like taking some content that I've seen, playing a game of Gears of War or something and chatting over 10 things I've seen and condensing them into a little video for you. Recently I wanted to talk about the Command & Conquer release, some console news, some GPU news, all this kind of stuff, and also just other videos. I've been watching this laptop repair guy that I think's fantastic. He's been talking about the housing market and stuff like this, and there's lots of stuff that I watch that maybe I could put into a video related to Gears of War, so it's still related to Gears of War, but it's a little bit different. I don't know if you would like to see that. I was thinking about doing something like that. That way I get to branch out a little bit into some other areas that I do enjoy, but also retaining the Gears of War vibe that people know, kind of like industry chats, or a specific topic that's been maybe not bugging me, but something that's just on my brain and I want to chat about it for 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe I could do that. Maybe that's something interesting for you. So I could just do a gameplay of Gears or whatever it may be, and the title might be Gears 5, I don't know, industry remakes, and then chat about some game remakes that I enjoyed or whatever the topic is. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. In this game, by the way, as you can see, we're trying our very best to win 4v5. I think one of our teammates isn't the best either, so it's more like a 5v3. We're almost holding our own, and yeah, I think I lost points off this game and got deranked, and Stotty said, do I want to play another? And I was like, I played really, really well. It was a close game. I just about lost, and it was 5v3, so I should be happy. But even though I played well, in Gears of War today, even when you play well, you don't really have any memorable moments. If I think about this game, even though I played really, really well, there wasn't really any memorable moments. It's just kind of generic shooting. And that's the thing with this game. It's a bit generic in its flow of play. It does feel a bit like Call of Duty, not for the reasons that people say, oh, it's a rifle game, but when you use, say, a pump shotgun in Fortnite, or a Spaz 12 in Call of Duty, if that gun's even still in there. Basically, you run in, don't you, and you put the reticule on the person and shoot the gun. And if you get a lot of shots on the guy, you're going to kill him first. That's kind of what this game feels like at the moment. It's kind of who sees who first and who lands effectively 2 shots or the one-shot gib. And even when you play really, really well, you don't really think to yourself of, wow, that was a cool moment. Occasionally it happens, like when I fought over there and killed that Terminator and climbed over and flicked that guy. It does still happen, and that's why I play the game, because there are enjoyable moments. It just feels like, generally speaking, if you play an evening of Gears of War, you kind of just think to yourself, what did I even do? What kills did I get? What was even, Whereas, like, if you play a game like PUBG, maybe at the beginning when I was a bit more excited about it, you might think to yourself, oh, that was a great match. I held that area really well. I moved into the circle perfectly. We took a 2v1. We took a group out. We took that loot. There's a few more interesting moments. And don't get me wrong, Gears of War is still fantastic, and I still really, really enjoy it. But the course of an evening or a course of like a month's gameplay, the memorable moments in battle are few and far between, and I think that's why a lot of people have been turned away from it. And I hope they improve that sort of feel. However they're going to do that, I don't know, but who knows. So that's kind of that, really. We end up going to lose this game by about 2 points. And then, of course, in typical Gears of War fashion, or not just Gears of War, in typical modern gaming fashion, the team that wins says GG. I come from StarCraft, where the idea is you get beaten, you lose, and then you say, damn, I lost, good game, you played well, you beat me, fair and square, GG. However, it feels like in console gaming and other games like League of Legends and stuff, when you win, everybody says, oh, GG. I'm like, well, obviously it was a good game, mate. You won. You know? That's not the idea. The idea is you meant to GG and be graceful in defeat, but these days it just feels like GG basically means get smashed easy, and I'm kind of like, what? So yeah, that's kind of, I guess that's kind of that. I'm kind of waffling at this point. I would just skip it right to the end, but basically we lost. I died. We lost by like 2 points. The last thing I wanted to talk about on my list was, yeah, that's it really. I've just kind of looked at my list. That's kind of all I wanted to speak about. Nothing too major. Oh, I did want to speak about one last thing. So I'll pause this game. Basically, we go on to like, we kind of tie it up. There's a few big plays, and then it ends up 170 to 170, and we just can't get there on the respawn. And yeah, it was a bit of a sad game, shall we say. The last thing I wanted to say is I did spend some time on the overlay and stuff like that and revamping the channel. Again, we created the Discord with these sections, so the idea is we've got some rules: be kind to each other, don't be a dick, etc. Please read the rules if you join, because I will ban people that don't follow the rules, because I'm trying to make a nice community, a stress-free community. So if you don't follow the rules, you will get a warning and then be banned. General chat, discussions, meme. If you want to discuss some controversial stuff, you can do. Pictures of your gaming setups, your selfies and your pets. Share some food, your good gaming moments. If you want to do some self-promotion, post your stream link or whatever, you can do. Share some music, share some other interesting links and have a chat, you can do. Also, you can see on this screen that up above the chat window, we created a... Oh, I can do it here. Up above the chat window, we created a few badges. So I created a few badges for you, and this was the idea, okay? Kind of silly. Sicario, it's a play on the word Sicario, meaning follower. It's also got that Colombian sort of gangster theme. I just like that theme. I love watching Narcos and stuff like that. So the first picture is a Sicario. That's your basic badge if you are a YouTube channel member. You also get these badges. The longer you are subbed, the badge changes. So people can see in the comments that you're a long-time supporter. This also is the same for Twitch. So the idea is, level 1, you're a Sicario. Number 2 is it's a pathway. You're going to choose your path. Are you going to carry on subscribing, or are you going to unsubscribe? And then if you unsubscribe, you've lost. You're going to have to go back to the beginning. If you stay on, you're going to get put in jail. You're going to be in the Sicario jail. You're going to have to do some time. You're going to have to earn the respect of the jail. You're going to have to not speak, not dob me in. Then, I think it's 6 months, you become the golden hat. You become the leader of the jail. You're going to be in there for leader of the Sicario jail for a few months. Then you're going to come out. You're going to get a nice paycheck. I'm going to pay you off, pay your familia. There's your paycheck coming in, all of your cash. And then at the end of it, you get the official golden hat, the golden Sicario hat, as you are an official member, true family of the Sicario. So that's kind of the theme, kind of a little fun theme. I also kind of designed some bit badges. They're kind of like a suitcase that opens up, and people that tip bits on Twitch, it fills up with like coins and then gold and then silver and then rubies and then so on and so forth. And I figured that if people are supporting me, the least I can do is design some goddamn badges. I'm not the best designer in the world, so they're not perfect, but they're mine. I like them. They're kind of scuffed, drawn by me. They've got my personality in them. So that's kind of the way it is. Also got some goals down below, to keep people updated, because that's what everyone does on Twitch. People obviously want to see where it's going towards. Currently, anything that goes towards the content goal of this month, which kind of is non-existent because I haven't streamed this month. But if you have enjoyed the YouTube content and you do want to support the content goal, it is available. All that's going to go towards new PC parts. Now, this isn't me saying, please everybody, tip me and buy me a PC. I've already paid off the PC. All I'm effectively waiting for is the graphics card to be released, and then I can buy it. I will never ask you for anything that I can't personally buy. The last time I did a goal, it was to learn to drive, and I'd already paid for all of my driving lessons, and then anybody that tipped anything, it went into the Learn to Drive fund. But it just wouldn't sit right with me saying, okay, I play Gears of War, buy me a computer. If you want to support the content and you think my videos are worth it, and you've enjoyed the whatever 100 odd plus videos that I've made in all of the streams, you can support the content. But it would never feel right for me to not have done the content, or not have at least paid like 90% of it, and then, ask for a little bit of help. That's just kind of me. I don't really like asking for help, even though I ask for help all of the time. It's a bit of a paradox, but the way I see it is, I've already bought the PC. I've already bought the stuff. If you want to reimburse me and you think my content's been worth it, that's great. But I don't want to sit here and be like, listen folks, I haven't made any videos this month, I haven't streamed, can you buy me a PC? That just really wouldn't sit well with me. So what I like to do is, that's why I don't run a Patreon. I like to release all of the videos, I earn no money off them, and then I say, here's my content goal. If you want to support the videos, here you go. But it just wouldn't feel right to say, I want to make a Patreon, and then you tip me each month blind, and then you just hope that I make the videos that you want to see. It just wouldn't feel right, because somebody might subscribe to the Patreon because one month I did loads of Gears videos. They might subscribe to the Patreon, and then the next month it might be a load of different videos that they didn't really enjoy, and they would think, damn, if I knew it would have been this content, I wouldn't have subscribed. So the way I see it, and the way it is, to be fair, is I just release everything for free, or I buy the computer myself, and then I say, listen, if you're happy with that, if you've enjoyed the content and you want to tip a little bit, that money will go back into paying off the PC that I've just bought, or something like that. So I feel like I over-explain everything. That's because I get nervous whenever I ask for support or help, because I'm very wary that there are a lot of people that are just out for a quick buck. I'm not trying to do that, so I'm very self-aware of trying to explain it properly, because I could just simply say, throw up a Patreon, do all this. I don't want to do that. I want to be fair to you, the supporter. So yeah, that's it. That's my short return video, I guess. In typical GGZ fashion, some people like drag out a video. Because I haven't been making like videos for a few weeks and just not streaming, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and I just sit there and I think, this is a 10-minute video. I watched a video on how to, I think I was doing something, I was installing something, and the answer to the video was like 2 minutes, basically. And the guy, no, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at a cooler comparison between a push-pull configuration going horizontally or vertically, and I wanted to see on this specific cooler which was better. So I googled it, push-pull, and there was a video on it. I thought, great. 9 minutes he spoke about his wife was coming home, his wife had done grocery shopping, he set up his house, he set up his smart lights, he's done all of this, and then right at the end of the video, there it was. And he dragged it out to like 10 minutes and 3 seconds, and I thought, really? Just be fair to your viewers, He would probably get more money doing a 2-minute video and then saying, if you enjoy the quick, easy content, support me, than dragging it out to 10 minutes every single time. But what do I know? I'm just an idiot on the internet. So there we go, there is my return slash not return, because I'm still on a break, but I felt a little bit better and I wanted to give you a proper update. So when there's less videos, when there is, a lull in streaming content, this is why. That's my explanation. As always, if you enjoy the content, I humbly ask you to check the links in the description, and if you're able to support me, it will go back into the channel, etc., etc. Thank you for putting up with my miserable ass.